Hey there everyone and welcome back to Dark Souls 3. I'm working on my 300 cosplay. Anyways, we're not going to be actually doing that, but that's kind of neat, huh? As promised, we're going to wear some of Wilhelm's stuff this time. And doesn't that really actually look quite close to the dingy robe? Now, in terms of fashion soulsing it, I think that is pretty nice. I don't know what helm to wear with it, really. I might just go without one, because... that looks like I'm just a cowboy. It's high noon, that sort of thing. That looks okay, but I already wore that last time. So I think we'll just go without a helm. I did get this thing to +9 now, so I'm kind of interested to try it out. The damage on it is pretty decent. 201 with a B scaling and strength, so it's actually a strength spear, which is kind of neat. The reach on it doesn't seem to be amazing, but that sure is, and it goes well with this shield because it's a weapon art shield. And this, I believe, actually does pretty significant damage, contrasting that with the crow's talons, or crow's, whatever. So, we got some stuff to do this time, 2 bosses, so let's start off by going to the chapel. Alright. So, first things first, let's test the damage on this. Yeah, that's pretty good. In fact, 272. It is actually doing about the same amount of damage as a two-handed R1, which for something that hits at a range is pretty good. Alright, you might have had an inkling that this would work. Remember, when you do this, you're going to want to stand off the bridge, because you can't do the whole, stand in the middle and get flown to the side like you could in the catacombs. That's not going to work here. And welcome to the part of the DLC that killed me more times than any other part in the entire DLC, was this little descent. It is horrible. Hopefully I'll be okay. As stated last time, I would really hate for my first death in the DLC to be from falling to my death. That would not be so great. So I'm hoping to avoid it. Okay, so the main reason this gets dangerous is because of these archers. I always thought it was funny that the lizards would jump off the edge, to get away from you, and then they would just die and you would get their stuff anyway. Ouch. Okay. So, there's an item on here, but there are also these archers who are really annoying. So there are a couple ways to approach this. You can try to just sprint to the item. That doesn't work out so well. I've tried that a few times. I think what I'm going to do is just kill the dudes that are up there. Or kill the one dude that's up there. Explosive seems to... whoops. forgot I'd already loaded it. Explosive seems to be the way to go. That is probably good enough, because I don't think he can get me anymore. Whatever. Let's kill this one then. It's my hawk ring. Still no, huh? I guess he's just out of range completely. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna try for the item, I think. Okay, maybe not. The second guy's on me. Well, I was trying to save time with it, but I ended up having to come down here anyway. Okay, so like jump down then. Oh dear. Alright. This is a wonderful start, displaying my amazing skills at Dark Souls 3. So, I'm just gonna get to this bonfire and start over. Okay, let's try it again. I'm just really doing wonderfully. I have this terrible feeling that in this, the final part of the DLC, I'm gonna have like 17 deaths or something, even though I haven't died at all the whole time through. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna run up here and grab that item then. So this way. And it's right there. Okay. Well, I didn't die. That's something. Okay. Then again, I guess it's appropriate that the follower saber is the item that's up here, and it's so difficult to get. At least difficult for me. Maybe it's not that difficult for anybody other than me. Because the follower saber is very much one of the meta weapons right now. Now, it has been nerfed since last I played, so let's take a look at it now. It has basically been called the Karthus Curved Sword 2.0 by a lot of people. First of all, that's pretty freaking stylish. But look at the swing speed. And then I don't actually know about the L2. I guess that's probably pretty good. Let's see how much distance it actually covers. Yeah, that seems like it would be pretty good at covering distance. So anyways, there's that. Now, the most annoying thing in the whole DLC is coming up right here. In fact, this is arguably the third boss of the DLC, even though there are technically only supposed to be 2. The good news is that you get a very good reward that, of course, makes it all worth it when you kill these guys. And if you played this, you know I'm being sarcastic right now. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea. It's just annoying. Gotcha. That was pretty satisfying, I gotta say, getting the finish with that. So there you go. A crystal gem. Aren't you glad that you went through all that trouble to kill those 2? Just terrible. The irony here, of course, is that I actually killed them more easily than I killed this one enemy on the ledge there, but we won't dwell on that. Okay, we got some trees to kill. There is a ladder. It's not there right now. Oh, that was a lot of damage. Now this tree is a little bit different from the others. So once you killed this tree, I don't think you have to kill all of them, I think you just have to kill this one. Well, we get Snap Freeze, which is another sorcery. I think it's a sorcery. It is in fact a sorcery. Creates that freezing cloud that all the enemies have, so yeah, that's fine. Now the ladder appears, and we have a very, very long ladder climb ahead of us. So how was your day? Mine was fine. It didn't go too well with those guys over there, but I think once I climb up here, that's pretty much going to be all the DLC except for the bosses, so we can move straight into those. And that'll be fun. I actually think both of the bosses in this are pretty good. The one that we're going to do first, some people have said is way too easy. I mean, it's not the most difficult boss fight in the series, but I'd still like it. And then the other one is pretty surprising the first time you do it. Man, this is a long way up. I love when you finish climbing one super long ladder and you're immediately greeted by a second ladder. That's really, really fun. Okay, it is worth coming up here, though, because of that. And then this actually just goes back to where I was last time. Goes down to that area. Alright. So, we will head on to boss number 1. I don't think I need the torch anymore. And I might as well keep this on, I guess. It doesn't matter. By the way, the crabs respawn. Why? I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they were there in the first place, so whatever. And now here is the bottom of this. That's pretty good looking. I can appreciate that one. Alright, down we go. So this fight starts out very, very easy, although it looks pretty neat. And then halfway through, somebody comes back who you might have forgotten about. So we got this dude. What I think is really cool about this guy, other than the fact that he has a neat weapon, is he's wearing just like noob equipment. And he's actually pretty easy to stun lock. By the way, that's the other, that would be the other part of your 300 cosplay, I guess, would be having that weapon. But, I mean, this is pretty easy so far, right? Now, do you remember that wolf that we were fighting earlier? Oh, yeah. Fortunately, if you have a strong enough weapon, you can actually take that guy out before the wolf even gets here. Okay, I need to back off, though. And you'll notice the wolf is actually missing health. That's because I fought it earlier. If you don't go through with the fights, then it'll be at full health. It's not a lot, but it gives you a little bit of a reason to actually do that, I guess. So the pillars here are definitely going to be your friend. And actually, if you don't kill the Grave Tender guy by this point, it's really not that big a deal. He sort of tends to stand back and shoot soul arrow at you, so he's not that dangerous. Alright, Wolfie gets a little bit more powerful at this point. Watch out for that. That's dangerous. In fact, if you're too close, I haven't really figured out a way to dodge it. I'm sure there is one. And that effect of the snow kicking up in your face is really cool. But as you can see, this is pretty easy. Now, one lore question that I don't know, that would be, whose grave is this? I'm not really sure. So if anybody knows, let me know. Oh, let's take a look at the Valor Heart. It's another one that I have not used yet. It's pretty cool, though. It's actually a unique weapon in that it has a completely unique moveset. The one-handed is basically just a longsword moveset, but two-handing it actually gives you the shield, which does not have 100% physical damage reduction, that would be kind of OP, I think. But you actually get moves that use the shield, which is pretty neat. And I believe what you'll find is that if you use the L2, yeah, you go into this cool stance, which is a unique stance. No other weapon in the game has this stance. So from here, you can do this sort of lunge forward, which is great for pursuit, or the shield bash, which I believe also works as a parry. I have not tested that myself, however. So actually combining these two weapons, well, there you go. You got your 300 cosplay right there. Okay, then. But I'm thinking, honestly, for me, nothing's ever going to beat this weapon. This is my favorite. Now, maybe if they put, like, Quilog's Fury Sword in the game or something, but, okay, is there anything else left to do? Well, I can go back to the chapel. And now if I go up this ladder that I did not climb before, you may have noticed.
Thou art Ash. Thou hast a pact made with Uncle Gale, so I wish to tell thee all. Behold its size. This is my canvas. It's to be a cold, dark and very gentle place. But first, I must see flame. I wish to paint a picture of a cold. One day, it will make someone a goodly home. That's why I'm...
Alright. So we got to show her flame. If we go talk to Elfrida here.
Be forewarned, eager Ash. Should this world wither and rot, even then would Ariandel remain our home. Leave us be, Ashen One. Sweep all thought of us from thy mind, as thy kind always have. Leave us with...
So she really doesn't want us to go down there. What sword is that? I don't know. It doesn't matter. This is actually Gale. Not an NPC. Okay, I think we're good. So what do I need on for this fight? This fight is pretty dang tough. How about... I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I don't need the Silver Cat ring, though, so I'm going to pick something else. How about just Estus ring? The noob ring. It's all decked out in new stuff. Okay, in we go.
I see flame. Flame flickering once again. Not enough blood yet shed. My flail. Bring me my flail. Ah, Frida. What stops thine ears? Please, my flail. Right away.
So this guy's pretty intimidating. But this is not going to go exactly how you might expect.
Bring Frida to me, please. Canst thou not see? The flame flickering once again. Soon will it surge. I can see it, feel it.
Fret not, Father. We have no need of thy flail. 'Tis only the flame quivering at misguided ash. Please avert thine eyes.
Alright. So she really doesn't
I
want
will
us...
snuff out these ashes for good.
Really doesn't want us to relight this flame. Alright, let's do it. So the trick here... well, is to time your rolls correctly. You gotta find her when she turns invisible like that. And then pursue. Keep an eye on those little bursts of frost, though, and that'll show you where she's gone. Oh dear. Better heal again. And doesn't this boss really just feel like a Bloodborne boss? Well, that was easy, wasn't it? Oh yeah, it's not over yet. This is actually kind of sad when he looks up. I'm very interested in this thing because it really looks like the Lord Vessel, doesn't it? But look at this. This is actually really sad. But look, there's even flame coming out of it, like... So now you're thinking, okay, well I gotta fight him now, alright. Oh, great. Now what's interesting here is she is actually the other Ash that they spoke of, and she's essentially gotten embered here, which is why she's been resurrected, which is kind of cool. So just like you. Alright, the funny thing about Stage 2 is that in some ways it's actually easier than Stage 1. Oh, thanks. Give me the extra flasks. The thing is, she tends to stand back and shoot this long-range attack at you. So what you can kind of do is lure him over and just hit him, because he's really easy to attack. It requires a little bit of positioning, but as you can see, I mean, I'm not really in that much danger if I just stay far away. And they have one life bar, you may notice as well. not to. So you see what I mean? I mean, it's not really that bad. Now there are a few tricks here. It's not just this the whole time. Once his health gets to a certain level. And you may notice, okay, there we go. You can see she turns invisible and goes to heal. Good news is you can see where her miracle is charging. So you can easily get to her. Now, you may notice that I'm being a little bit cautious here and holding back. There's a reason for that. Alright, so there's our boss fight. That wasn't too bad, huh? Thanks for the Titanite slab. So what do we got over here? Oh no. Yeah. So this happens. And phase 3, this is the hard one. Good news, she can still be stun locked. Bad news, very long combos, very high damage. And all in all, you don't want to be here. Okay, I think she landed right here. You gotta keep an eye on that when she teleports because she's gonna start charging that attack. This one. And that's the key here. Okay. And don't try to tank through that, please, for your own sake. Oh, I hate that move so much. And actually, your best bet on that charge move is just to rush in. Oh dear. Okay, keep an eye on. She jumped over. She landed right there. And keeping an eye on where she lands when she turns invisible is really important. I better just not take any chances. I really don't want to die at this point. No! That was pretty neat though, huh? was kind of hoping she'd go invisible again, because that's some free attacks, basically. We're almost there. Okay, she jumped over. Gotcha. Now, I have heard on the forums people saying, oh, this boss was so easy, it's the easiest boss in the game. No, you're full of crap. It is not the easiest boss in the game. It might not be the hardest boss in the game, but that was not easy. Or maybe I'm just terrible. I don't know. So at this point, you probably have the reaction that most people had, which was, oh, that's it? Well, yeah, kinda. Take a look at this over here. This is very interesting. Now, my immediate thought was, oh no, this is Scythe Waifu from Dark Souls 1, but take a closer look. You see that? That doesn't look like an actual dragon tail or snake tail. That looks like a statue with like little wooden parts inside of it. So what the heck is the deal with that? I thought it was Priscilla, but now I'm not really so sure, so I don't know what the deal is. Maybe we'll find out in the next DLC. I think, based upon... Wow, those are floating in the air, aren't they? Based upon what we're seeing with the very end of this DLC, which I'm not going to go look at, is it seems like the next DLC is actually going to be a continuation. But we'll see. So first of all, let's go talk to the long-haired painter girl.
Those who aren't kin to fire cannot paint a world. Those absorbed by fire must not paint a world. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten, Mother. I can hear the fire crackle, and soon I will see it. My thanks, Ashen One. I will finish the painting of a cold, dark, and very gentle place, so that it might make a home for someone someday. My thanks, I will of a so that.
So then, what's going on here? Well, we've shown her flame, and I guess now she's going to paint a new painting, and this one is going to get washed away by the fire. We got one more thing to do, and that is to go back to the Corvian settlement. Let's go talk to our bird-bearing friend.
Oh, my, thank you. I can hear the crackling from here, the sound of my home, the painting of Ariandel burning away.
And there's your third Titanite slab.
When the world rots, we set it afire for the sake of the next world. It's the one thing we do right, unlike those fools on the outside. When the...
Alright, and that is literally everything to be done inside this DLC, except for I think I probably missed an item over here, but... I think I saw that I did, but it's like a Titanite shard or something. Anyways, so that last line is actually pretty cool. What he's referring to is, in Dark Souls 1, and actually in this one as well, the whole cycle of linking to the fire to extend the life of the world. Well, he's happy that instead of doing that and trying to extend the life of the world, they're going to just burn it away because it's so corrupted, and they're going to create a new world, which is what the girl up there is painting. So it's kind of interesting. As usual, you know, it's all very cryptic and that sort of thing. Here's the item I missed. But it's still kind of cool. Yeah, a soul item. I really needed that. Okay, back to the Shrine Bonfire. We'll finish up. Okay, everyone, so here we are. And that completes Ashes of Ariandel. Now, you can trade in the soul... Oh, actually, hold on, there's one more thing. I'll show off really quick. Those Champion's Bones, you burn them here to access the arena, PvP arena. Now, the original thought that I had was because you don't actually really get any gameplay benefit to winning in the arena, it was going to be a cool place where people could come in and try out unique builds and have matches. Well, that was very naive of me. Apparently, it's just become a place where tryhards abuse meta weapons, so wonderful. So I haven't really messed around with it all that much. Other than that, you can trade in the soul that you got of Sister Frida. You can get either a flail, which will... I think it's a catalyst, or you can get those dual scythes, which are pretty cool. And hey, look, Patches finally came back. He was gone because I actually killed the final boss before triggering his little thing. So he's finally back, and I can buy rusted coins again, which makes me happy. I don't need 601 of them though, so maybe 100. And I think that's going to do it. So basically, I'm going to be back, but I'm going to be back whenever the next DLC comes out. So we don't really know when that's going to be yet, as of the recording of this video. But maybe soon. Maybe not. Either way, I hope you guys very much enjoyed this actually deathless run, believe it or not, through the Ashes of Ariandel DLC. And I'll be back hopefully sooner rather than later, where we'll do the last part of the game. In the meantime, I have been thinking about doing some additional runs of the game, like cosplay runs or runs that show off cool builds. So, depending on when this finally gets uploaded, because I do have a few episodes left to upload before this one, depending on how that goes, I may start doing those before the last DLC comes out, but we'll see. My first one is going to be a pretty funny cosplay build that I came up with. So, look forward to that, I guess, and that's pretty much it. So, until next time, let me find an appropriate gesture here. This one's always appropriate. Thanks for watching. That was kind of cheesy.